If you're clicking on this video, you've probably hit a plateau in your business, at least somehow. And I'm going to break down exactly what we need to do to fix those plateaus, right? So your business probably looks something like this. And at one point, maybe it was like this, right? You have some ups and downs. And eventually you kind of had this, the skyrocketing growth. And then you just plateaued, right? And this is kind of like a zoomed out version of where you are now, right? And why is this happening? Well, you've hit a monthly income peak, right? You're working all the hours, you're charging the same prices, you're onboarding the same number of clients. And well, the market has changed. And honestly, well, your funnel probably sucks too. And you're also getting super low views on Instagram and social media, right? You're in 200, 300 view jail. You have a lot of posts, you have no followers. You're probably posting random reels begging to go viral with a formula that probably looks like this: hook, problem, solution, call to action. And or maybe you have static or low quality creatives with no ad budget and you're praying for more leads, but all you're getting is low quality ones, if any. So how do we fix this? Well, there's two things. First one is going to be organic content and personal brand, right? And this is going to be the former strategy versus the new strategy. Former strategy, the green is going to be the result, blue is going to be organic, and then purple is going to be paid, aka ads, right? So the result of these things here is going to be cold, unqualified leads, basically people you don't want buying from you or aren't going to buy from you in the first place, right? With organic, you're not testing and you're inconsistent in posting. You have no plan of action for your content. You have no personal brand. And lastly, Instagram hasn't categorized you as being in a specific niche, right? You have no competitors per se, right? You have no related accounts to you because your posting and your content is probably just all over the place. For paid, you have no authority status in the paid ads, right? Why would somebody go with you over anybody else? The same thing honestly kind of applies to organic as well. They both can kind of follow this, the no authority status. You're doing direct to purchase ads. You have basically no flywheel system. You're just doing the cold, old funnel system, right? You're not following the modern data of actually what works for cold reach. You have no ad budget. And well, if you don't have ad budget, you're not going to be able to push ads. And you're simply not testing. The key to ads and also the key to organic as well is a lot of testing. If you're not testing, if you're not breaking down what's not working and testing against what is working, your ads just aren't going to work, right? And then let's look at this. This is going to be the new strategy. And the result here is going to be yellow, organic is going to be orange, and paid is going to be red, right? The result of these things is going to be warm, qualified leads, aka the leads you seriously do want, right? With your organic, you're very consistent in posting and you make the necessary modifications to change, update, and adjust your content to fit your niche, right? And compare yourself against your competitors. You're running the flywheel system, right? Not the funnel system. So I'll share with you what that is in just a second. Instagram has categorized you as being in a specific niche, so you have competitors who are like you, and you do have a good personal brand, right? When it comes to the paid, you've positioned yourself as an authority, again, which can apply to both scenarios here, and you're also very authentic, which again can also apply to both scenarios. You're testing the ads, and you are very, consistent in posting ads and testing. You've accepted that ads are simply, going to be an investment, and you have to be willing to pay and put money into ads for them to work, especially if you're going to test them, and you're running the flywheel system, again, which is kind of the same thing with organic as well. And you're also doing retargeting ads too. Okay. And then we come on over to the second thing, which is going to help you scale and get out of this plateau. And that's going to be group coaching, right? And this is going to be a comparison of your current one-on-one mentorship. You could put, like a course material here as well versus group coaching. And this is why group coaching is superior. Overall, at least, you do want multiple models. So here in the green, we have the results. The blue is going to be the effect on you. And then the purple is going to be deliverables, right? The result is an MRR peak, right? You've plateaued in your business. You're working the max hours. You're solo in the business. You have a max overload that you're working currently, and you're just charging the same price. You're not testing what's really going to work for your offer. For the purple, for the deliverables, you have no incentive for people to keep continuing in working with you, right? People are held accountable almost to reach out to you and keep working with you. In group coaching, there's a lot more accountability, and I'll talk about that in a second, which kind of bleeds into, accountability and incentive are pretty similar here. There's less overall knowledge received because in the group coaching scenario, They have multiple people they can talk to. There's multiple streams of knowledge happening. It's not just one-on-ones with you, right? And because of that, there's less value received too. Now, we come over to group coaching, and the result is yellow. The effect on you is orange. The deliverables are red, right? The result is potentially infinite scalability, right? I'm going to redo this if I can. That was terrible. Infinite, that was also bad. Infinite scalability, right? So what do we really do? What does this really mean, right? Well, the effect on you is more overall income generated. You have more time freedom, right? There's less effort you put in over time. You just kind of do, built up things to build up the group coaching offer. And once that group coaching offer is actually built out and it's in the monetization and autopilot phase, it requires very minimal work and adjustments. And because of this, you can easily 10x your time to work ratio. Now, for the deliverables, there's more resources you can add. There's a community aspect in there. There is people being held accountable, and there are installable systems that people can follow and implement. And again, they can learn from other people in that group coaching thing too, not just you. And Maxino is a pretty popular name in the info space. Said this, I'm going to kind of replace courses with one-on-one mentorship, right? So it would be one-on-one mentorship doesn't work anymore. People want more. They want community. They want accountability. They want installable systems. And when you combine everything, it's not just info, it's the holy grail of offers. The majority of people in the info space, either helping coaches run offers or having coaches themselves running their own offers, right, would agree that the most profitable model is going to be where you can charge a reasonable price and not trade your time for money directly. And with that, that's going to be group coaching. Courses are great, but there's no community, there's no accountability, there's no installable systems, right? Group coaching is literally the holy grail of offers because you can do everything with it. Okay. And this is going to bring us down here. We'll talk about the flywheel system as well. I mentioned I'll talk about briefly. So we have the old model, right? The old model is basically funnels. And with funnels, right, you get a cold lead through ads. And then from there, you turn this cold lead into a high ticket client by paying thousands of dollars, and then eventually into a case study to kind of rinse and repeat, essentially, right? The new method is the flywheel system, right? With the flywheel system, you get a follower, so you run follower ads or you run organic, whichever works. From there, that follower turns into a lead, and that lead sees you have something to offer. They might not want to buy your entire mentorship or group coaching, so what they'll do is buy a low ticket or a digital product, essentially, right? So they'll become a customer, they'll pay $500, they'll see the value in there, and from there, they're going to trust you more. And because they trust you more, they're going to be a lot more likely to convert into a high ticket client. And from a high ticket client, you kind of rinse and repeat again from the funnel system, right? But really the best is both, right? You have a lead for the funnel system turning into a high ticket client into a case study. And you also have a follower turning into a lead, turning into a customer, turning into a high ticket client, turning into a case study, right? You have both running. You have a good organic foundation. You have retargeting ads, basically warm ads too. And you also have cold ads running too. And the way this works so well is because you can target all different kinds of people in the specific place, scenario, or situation that they're in, and not focus on one thing. Because when all of these are set up and when you have enough money to invest in all of these systems, it's priceless because your return on ad spend or your return on posting content and making content is tremendous, right? It's infallible. It's infinite scalability, essentially, right? So I recommend not only doing the funnels, not only doing the flywheel, but doing both, right? Doing both, covering all areas of your clients that they could possibly reach you at. Then that is going to bring us over here, right? We have one-on-ones, group coaching, and both, right? One-on-ones, the high ticket client from the flywheel or from the funnel turns into a one-on-one mentee. And from a one-on-one mentee, they could, working with you, get either the desired income, the desired outcome, or not the desired outcome, right? And if they do get the desired outcome, great, right? You get a good case study and you get a good review. But if they don't get the desired outcome, what's going to happen is potentially you get a refund, you lose all of your time, and you get a negative review, which harms your business, maybe even more than both these first two. Okay. With the group coaching, you have the client turning into a high ticket client turning into a group mentee. From a group mentee, they get access to a community of like-minded individuals. They get on-demand coaching modules. They get access to resources. And then from all of these things, it's almost impossible not to grow working with you, right? If they don't grow, it really isn't on you because they have access to everything, right? It's not on you, it's on them, right? They're held accountable, but they are, in a sense, they have an incentive to keep working because they have other people uplifting them, and they have all of the resources available to them, right? So it's on them completely if they fail working with you, unless your course, your group coaching is terrible, which most of the times, especially working with me, it's not terrible. But at the end of the day, it's on the client, right? And if they do have a success working with you, you're going to get a good case study and a good review, and there's almost always never going to be any negativity involved in that, right? Now, with both, what happens is you get that high ticket client, and they can turn into either a group coaching mentee or a one-on-one mentee. And you can also upsell and downsell this person, right? The group coaching could get more one-on-one and intimate help with you, so they might think that the one-on-one mentorship is more valuable, or the one-on-one mentorship or the one-on-one mentee might be like, hey, I want some community, I want some on-demand course modules, maybe I should also invest into this too, right? So you could maybe not charge full price, but you could give 2 of these coaching programs to one individual, right? And that is so much value per person and so much income and case studies you can get because this person is getting access to so much value from you as an individual. Hope that makes sense, right? And it kind of follows the same system again, right? And then at the end of the day, because they upsell and downsell, right, with the group coaching, it's going to do well, a good case study. And same thing with the one-on-one too, right? There's not going to be any harm involved in there, right? So group coaching adds justified price, increase for one-on-one since time is more valuable, and more time and effort is put into ensuring the success of the one-on-one mentee, right? So how do we actually run group coaching? Well, there's a couple different platforms you can use, right? There's something called WAP, Circle, School, Discord, Slack, and Teachable, right? I highly recommend not using any of these 3, right? Slack is basically, if you know Discord already, Slack is basically the same exact thing, but it's for businesses. And it's also very, very expensive. Teachable is kind of just irrelevant, to be honest with you, so I wouldn't use it. And Discord is meant for gaming. And if you're going to run a group coaching platform, or even especially a one-on-one, it's just not suitable for it. It's okay for course modules, potentially, or like low ticket communities, but a standalone group coaching program is not going to be suitable for any of these 3 platforms. So you should choose between WAP, Circle, and School. These 3 are great. However, School is becoming a little bit more outdated, and Circle and WAP are kind of taking over the online space right now. A lot of people prefer WAP because there's like everything kind of involved with WAP. You get the payment processing side of things, the community side of things. People can buy and sell in there, right? So if you're a client looking to buy, it's easy for you to kind of find what you're looking for directly through WAP. Or if you are, a coach or someone selling information already, it's easy for you to find and get clients that way and charge prices, keep track of everything on a dashboard. So WAP is kind of your all-in-one go-to marketplace. With Circle, if you want to use a secondary payment processor such as Fanbasis or PayPal or Stripe alone, Circle is a good choice. It's very simple. It's very easy. The design layout is super user interactive and user friendly. So either of these 2 options, depending on what you're looking for, is pretty good. So what you're going to do is basically pick one of these 2 options or pick one of these options that I gave you. And what you're going to do is offer a community aspect, on-demand course modules, weekly and or multi-weekly coaching calls. Add other coaches to the program if possible, because at some point you're going to be getting so much money. It's just time to outsource, right? You don't want to keep checking it all by yourself. Having other people, or even at least other experts in there who can, justify and kind of support in what you're saying, it kind of helps your cause, if that makes sense, right? If you're a dating coach and you have an expert dating coach in there as well, you look extra good because 2 people, you and this other person, agree with what you're saying, as well as everybody else in the group coaching platform, right? So it's basically some added support and added, what's a good word for this? It's just added support, right? There's more oomph between, from what you're saying to your coaching clients, right? And number 5, one-on-one calls if possible. If you're giving people access for like 3 to 5 months, I think one-on-one calls for at least 30 minutes one time is pretty reasonable. And with that, they can kind of like ask any questions, give you some feedback on how to improve. Just have like a one-on-one talk with you for 30 minutes to an hour. It's really worth it for you and for the client as well. So if you're doing a time frame of like 3 months to 5 months access to your coaching program, I really would recommend one-on-one calls at least once. If you have like a very expensive program, a very VIP program, and not a lot of people in there, and it's also lifetime access, maybe you could do one-on-one calls like every week for 30 minutes, or maybe every month if it's lifetime access. But if there's a lot of people in there, like a couple hundred people, and it's not getting filtered out, they just keep getting access to that for lifetime. It's almost impossible to kind of keep up, and keep doing one-on-one calls. So it's highly dependent on what you're offering and what you're doing in the program right now. Right. Number 6 is going to be call recordings. It's super important to use an AI note taker in calls to kind of record those calls and post them in a call recording section to just have people look back at them and just get some more free value in case they missed the coaching calls that you had during the week. Okay. And then last but not least, if not the most important thing, is a proper launch sequence. There is something I have access to called a 15-day launch sequence on Stories. And this has sold for my clients tens of thousands of dollars, because at the end of the day, what the whole purpose of it is to just provide hype around this thing, right? So you progressively keep mentioning that you have something in store, and each day that leads up to the 15th, you're talking more and more and more. You're building a wait list of people, and in that wait list, they're going to get maybe access to, I don't know, it could be like a webinar or something, right? And on the webinar, you could drop this. Or even if you have like a set amount of seats for your one-on-one or your group coaching, or in this case it'd be group coaching, right? If you have a set amount of seats for the group coaching and you don't want to do a webinar, you could just add those people in the wait list who are already going to pay you and directly give them access, right? Hopefully that makes sense too. A proper launch sequence is maybe the most important thing to really drive sales. Okay, and this is going to be all. If you enjoy this, just drop a follow, like, subscribe. Not follow, because following is on Instagram, not YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer anything. If you want to work with me, I'm going to go ahead and link my Calendly in the description below, so you can click on that and book a call if you'd like to. I am accepting more clients right now. Currently, I'm working with 2 people. Both of them are killers, so I'm very excited to keep working with them. If you do have an online mentorship, or you have your own offer, or you're at least selling some kind of information online, or you have a coaching program, be sure to DM me on Instagram at Profit Klein if you'd like to. Or again, just go ahead and book a call with me. I'll be happy to answer some questions. It's not going to be a sales call. It's going to be a discovery call. And we'll just kind of talk about your needs and what's going to work best for you. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm praying for your success, brother.